Furniture Company International Marketing Report. Introduction. Furniture Fripe Corporation is a private limited company which operates within the UK office furniture industry. The firm's core product category entails provision of office furniture. To meet its customers' demands, the firm has integrated the concept of product diversification, which has been attained through incorporation of a number of product lines. Some of the furniture products which the firm supplies include chairs, desks, filing cabinets and tables in its product portfolio. Since its inception in 2000, the firm has been very successful with regard to marketing its products in its domestic market. To attain its profit maximization objective, the firm intends expand into the global market. According to CASME, 2008, there are different market expansion strategies that firms can adopt in their strategic management processes. One of these strategies entails the internationalization strategy. And Exter asserts that there are different internationalization options that a firm can consider. Some of these include exportation, licensing, franchising, foreign direct investment, FDI, and formation of strategic alliances. In its effort to enter into the international market, the management team of Furniture Fripe has adopted the exportation strategy. The firm has cited China, United Arab Emirates UAE and Saudi Arabia as its potential export destination. As a result, the management team has appreciated the importance of conducting a comprehensive analysis with regard to the external environment. This paper outlines an analysis of Saudi Arabia, China, and UAE external analysis on the basis of the PEST model. Political and legal environment. Analysis of the political risk of a particular country is a major factor which should be taken into consideration when expanding into the international market. A number of elements should be taken into consideration when evaluating a country's political environment. The most important factors relate to political stability, bureaucracy and legal framework and taxation. The table below illustrates the ranking of the three countries on the basis of these elements. China. Political stability, relatively high. China undertook numerous political reforms during the 1970s which has resulted into improvement in its political stability. Additionally, China has continuously maintained good relationships with its neighbors which are likely to continue into the future. Legal framework, less attractive. Despite its implementation of assent into WTO, China has not implemented an effective legal framework to promote foreign investment. Taxation, relatively high. Since its assent to WTO, China has been committed towards removal of trade barriers by joining regional free trade agreements. Bureaucracies, high. Some of the investment sectors are a preserve of the state-owned enterprises. UAE. Political stability, high. Since its establishment in 1971, UAE has managed to maintain a stable political environment. This has been attained due to its effective political structure. The country has adopted a federal and state system of government. UAE intends to become one of the best investment destinations by 2021. Legal framework, very attractive. UAE is one of the most attractive investment destinations to venture into due to its liberal and attractive laws. Taxation, low. UAE has instituted a minimal taxation for foreign investors. Bureaucracies, very low. To establish a business in UAE, there are very few requirements which should be met. This makes it easy for foreign investors to venture into the UAE market. Saudi Arabia. Political stability, high. Saudi Arabia has developed an effective political system. The country is governed by a king, thus eliminating political pressures within and without the government. Legal framework, attractive. Saudi Arabia has an effective legal framework that promotes foreign investments. Taxation, moderate. In an effort to attract foreign direct investment, Saudi Arabia has minimized its rate of taxation on income earned by foreign investors. Bureaucracies, low. There are minimal bureaucracies in Saudi Arabia with regard to establishing a business. The political stability in China, UAE and Saudi Arabia will enable the firm to undertake its businesses more effectively without any form of political interference such as a result of riots. The legal frameworks in the three countries will ensure that the firm's investments are protected. China has not completely eliminated trade tariffs and bureaucracies despite its assent to WTO. This will increase the cost of venturing into China. On the other hand, UAE and Saudi Arabia have minimal trade barriers in terms of tariffs and bureaucracies. Economic environment. Currently, different countries have adopted different economic systems. Tucker, 2011, defines an economic system as the methods and organization used in determining the goods and services to be produced, method of production and the target consumer. During the 21st century, most countries are transforming their economic systems. As a result, most economies are characterized by a mixed economic system. Currently, China has a communist economic system which is a type of command economy. Saudi Arabia has adopted a planned economic system. The two systems are characterized by the fact that it is the government which dictates major economic decisions, for example with regard to production and marketing. As a result, China's and Saudi Arabia's economic systems can be rated as command economic systems. On the other hand, UAE has adopted a free market economy system. In a market economy, it is the forces of demand and supply which determines the price of products and services. Its free market economy is evidenced by the fact that it is a member of the World Trade Organization. Additionally, both UAE and Saudi Arabia are members of the Gulf Cooperation Council, which is one of the trading blocs in West Asia. According to a survey conducted by Index Mundi in 2011, Saudi, UAE and China had a gross domestic product per capita which amounted to $24,200, $49,600 and $7,600 respectively. One of the most important elements to consider when venturing into the foreign market is the exchange rate regime adopted by the host country. China has adopted a controlled floating exchange regime by pegging the renminbi. On the other hand, Saudi Arabia and UAE have adopted a flexible exchange regime. China. Economic system, command economic system. GDP per capita, purchasing power parity, $7,600. Ranked 117 worldwide, Central Intelligence Agency, 2012. Exchange rate regime, controlled floating exchange rate regime. Trading bloc, a member of WTO. Decision, less favorable. UAE. Economic system, free market economic system. GDP per capita, purchasing power parity, $49,600. Rank 10 worldwide, Central Intelligence Agency, 2012. Exchange rate regime, flexible exchange rate. Trading bloc, member of WTO and GCC. Decision, most favorable. Saudi Arabia. Economic system, free market economic system. GDP per capita, purchasing power parity, $24,200. Ranked 55, Central Intelligence Agency, 2012. Exchange rate regime, flexible exchange rate. Trading bloc, member of WTO and GCC. Decision, relatively favorable. UAE's and Saudi Arabia's free market economic systems present an effective investment destination for the firm. This arises from the fact that its marketing decisions will not be influenced by the host government compared to the Chinese command economic system. Additionally, the high GDP per capita in UAE and Saudi Arabia compared to China means that there is a high probability of the firm making high profit from increased sales due to the associated purchasing power amongst the consumers. On the other hand, China's fixed exchange rate policy is advantageous to Furniture Friping Corporation export strategy because it minimizes innate risk from exchange rate fluctuation. On the other hand, being members of the respective trading blocs will provide Furniture Fripe with an opportunity to have a wider market. Technological environment. The success of any business enterprise is influenced by the prevailing technological environment. China. Telecommunication and Internet infrastructure. China has developed an effective telecommunication network as evidenced by the television, radio and Internet infrastructure. However, the freedom of the media is curtailed. Research and development. High. The country has extensively invested in research and development in various economic sectors so as to support economic growth. UAE. Telecommunication and Internet infrastructure. UAE is one of the most technologically developed countries in the Gulf region with regard to telecommunication and Internet technology. The country's telecommunication and Internet services are provided by Etisalat. 56% of UAE is fitted covered by fiber optic cable. Research and development. High. UAE appreciates the fact that its growth will be influenced by the effectiveness with which it undertakes research and development. Saudi Arabia. Telecommunication and Internet infrastructure. The country has an efficient telecommunication and Internet network. Research and development. Saudi Arabia intends to become the leader with regard to technological innovation by 2015 in the Gulf region. The technological environment in the three countries is very effective as indicated by their telecommunication and internet networks. These infrastructures will play a vital role in improving the efficiency with which the firm undertakes its operations such as marketing. Social environment. The social environment influences various marketing aspects such as the consumer's buying behavior and perceptions. The following table outlines the main social elements with regard to the three countries. China. Language, Standard Chinese, English. Rate of urbanization, 47%. Religion, Taoism, Buddha, Christianity. UAE. Language, Arabic. Rate of urbanization, 2.3%. Religion, Islam. Saudi Arabia. Language, Arabic. Rate of urbanization, 2.2%. Religion, Islam. When venturing into the international market, it is critical for entrepreneurs to evaluate the dominant language and religion of the host country. For example, language determines how the message to be used in the promotion will be developed. In both Saudi Arabia and UAE, the firm can use the Arabic language in its market communication. This means that it can develop a uniform marketing communication message for the two countries. On the other hand, it is important to consider religion because it influences the consumer's beliefs and values, which in turn affect the consumer's behavior. Industry structure. Over the past decade, the office furniture industry has experienced tremendous growth. The industry has become very competitive. This is evidenced by the emergence of a large number of office superstores which produce and market inexpensive furniture in different parts of the world. The main competitors within the industry include OfficeMax, Office Depot, and Staples. Additionally, the industry is also characterized by intense competition emanating from various club discount stores such as Sam's, Asda, Costco, and Price Club. Conclusion from the above analysis, UAE emerges as the most viable investment destination for Furniture Friping Corporation. This is evidenced by a number of factors such as the high rate of political stability. Additionally, UAE has adopted a free market economic system. This means that it will be able to operate without any form of interference by the government. However, its decisions will be influenced by the forces of demand and supply. The technological environment in UAE is optimal as evidenced by the well-developed telecommunication and internet infrastructures. UAE's social environment is relatively uniform compared to that of China. Therefore, Furniture Friping Corporation should consider UAE as its investment destination. This assessment on furniture export, international marketing, was written and submitted by user Mario Cox to help you with your own studies. You are free to use it for research and reference purposes in order to write your own paper. However, you must cite it accordingly